Today, we want to talk about cash flow. And more specifically, I want to give you a blueprint on how to build a cash flow portfolio. So, we're going to go over basically 10 points. So, sit back, take some notes, and hopefully, this will help you to begin the process of building that cash flow that we all desire as real estate investors. Number one, very simple. You need to educate yourself. And these are the four areas that I would begin your education. I'm going to tell you how to do this in a minute. Number one is locating properties. Number two is financing those properties. Number three is analyzing those properties. And finally, it's managing those properties. You focus all your education attention on those four areas and you'll be way ahead of the curve. Now, exactly how do you do that? Folks, it's not that hard. Many people many years ago would spend thousands and thousands of dollars in getting educated, but you don't need to do that now. There's so many resources for you. There's obviously any online courses, there's podcasts. There's books that you can check out online. You can go to networking groups. Anything you can get your hands on in real estate investment is a good source of education. But again, if you're trying to build that cash flow, focus on locating properties, financing properties, managing properties, and also analyzing those properties. So that's your first step. You need to take some time. Don't spend too much time. You want to take some action too, but you do need some basic levels of education on real estate investment in order to make this business profitable. Number two, set up your financial goals. It's always good to know where you're heading before you start out on the journey. So set some financial goals. What are you looking to do? How much passive income, how much income from your rental portfolio are you looking for? Is it $5,000 a month to maybe help you offset some college education or build some retirement? Or maybe it's enough for you to segue into this business full time. Is it $10,000, $15,000? Whatever the case may be, sit down, take some time, and sketch out your financial goals. It will be very helpful on your journey if you know exactly where you're going. Number three, you got to access your own finances. Now, I know we've all heard about real estate investment for generations about no money down. Just remember, it's somebody's money. You need to learn about your own finances. It's amazing how many people have no idea what their credit score is. It's amazing, quite honestly, how many people don't even know how much money they make every year. Sit down, write out some budgets, see if there's some extra cash you can put into some real estate investments. Figure out how you can generate more cash in your life to throw into some real estate investments. Understand your credit. Get some help with this. Get your local banker. They can help your credit score. And so having a good understanding of your own personal financial place right now is going to help you build for the future. So access your finances. Number four, choose your market. Figure out where you want to invest in real estate. That could be locally, that could be out of state. There's lots of resources now that will allow you to pick your market and figure out where you believe your best opportunity is for cash flow. Now, that might be a market that's 2 or 3 hours away, maybe 10 hours away. I'm not sure, but you need to pick that market that you're comfortable with. Maybe you have a few contacts with, but also that fits your criteria of what you're looking for. Remember, you want properties that cash flow. Areas where there's job growth, areas where there's population growth, places that are growing. That's where you want to plant your tree, if you will, and really start looking for some good opportunities in residential real estate. And not only cash flow, but watch those properties grow in value. You also need to select the type of properties you're going after. This sounds basic. Now, honestly, the single easiest investment to manage is a single family house or a townhouse. That's probably the easiest, but maybe you want to start out bigger. Maybe you want to go for a fourplex or a duplex or a 6-unit building, or maybe you even want to just forget all of that and go for a 20-unit or higher building. You need to determine that. For most people, for most of us, the easiest way to get started is to find that nice single family or townhouse that we can invest in that can start generating us cash flow. But you need to make these decisions for yourself. So select the property type and asset. And when I say that, remember, it doesn't only have to be houses. It could be other debt instruments. It could be a good performing note. It could be debt instruments. So there's other pieces of assets in real estate investment that you can invest in. Secure financing. It's a big one. And it's what's scary for most people. Well, I don't have any money. My credit's not good. I can't possibly do this. Folks, there's many ways to finance real estate. You need to go back to step one, and you need to spend some time on the internet and on YouTube and on podcasts and learn how to creative finance real estate. Not really none of us starting out had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank to just plop down in a down payment. We had to figure out ways to scrape together some money, and we had to figure out creative financing methods in order of us to get this cash flow and get us out the gate. You can do the same thing. Folks, the dirty little secret about this, and this has been done for generations. My grandfather's grandfather bought rental real estate. You can too. There's many just ordinary people out there that are taking some time to learn this business and generate this cash flow. So secure financing. Number 7. I'm kind of lost count. But you need to begin your search for properties. So once you've gotten educated, once you've figured out your market, once you've figured out what type of property you're going after, you got to start searching for properties. You can employ bird dogs, meaning people in your network, people in your area that are looking for properties. You can employ real estate agents. If you find some good, young, hungry real estate agents to go out and find you some good properties with a little bit of value, that cash flow, you'll be surprised at how many opportunities you get to look. Once you search these properties, you have to do your due diligence. You have to, if you can visit the properties, that's obviously better, but you have to have somebody on the ground to take a look at these properties. Could be a realtor, could be a local inspector, it could be a local contractor, but you need somebody to walk through. You need people to give you the idea of exactly what the property is and what kind of work it may be needing done. Remember, the better you can put the property in, the better you can make sure the systems are, the roof, the windows, the HVAC, the hot water heater, appliances, all those things that cause late night calls. If you can get those systems in good working order, you can find a good quality tenant and you won't have to do as much management. Close the deal. You got to find a local title company. You cannot be afraid of pulling the trigger. You have to jump off at some point. It's never going to be easier as you go along. The first one is it's basically always the hardest. I shouldn't say that. It does get a little bit easier. But that first one, man, you're going to be nervous. You're going to have knots in your stomach. But as you do that and you understand this process and you surround yourself with a good team and you surround yourself with good people, you'll find that this process isn't that hard. Like I said, people have been doing this for many, many years. You can too. And finally, you need to figure out how you're going to manage this property. Are you going to get a local property manager? Are you going to find a local realtor? Are you going to find someone that manages properties in that area that can help you out? Or are you going to take this on yourself? Again, there's many systems out there that you can collect rent with. There's many opportunities for you to set up opportunities to maintain the property. So you'd be surprised if you put a little work and effort into this, you can manage some of these properties. And if you do that, your cash flow is only going to go up. So I hope this very simple blueprint is help you to get started. Again, it's important to just jump off. It's important to say, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Put a time frame on it. Put some goals on it and get started. So let me review real quick. These are the 10 steps to create cash flow in any market. Education. Spend some time getting educated. Set your financial goals. Take some time to sit down and figure out exactly what you want. And by putting it in paper, repeating yourself, sharing it with a friend or two, it's going to help you access your finances. Be honest. See where you are. Don't be ashamed of it. You can improve it. You can get better at this, and you can get on your road to passive income. Choose your market. Figure out that market you want to invest in, whether that's locally or in other parts of the country. Select your property type, whether that's a single family house, a fourplex, a duplex, a multi-unit building, maybe a small commercial property, maybe a performing note. Figure out what you're going after. Very important. Don't just say, I want everything. Really be specific there. Secure your financing. And what I mean by this is learn creative financing. Start networking. Start talking to other investors. Where did you find money? How did you structure this? All of those things are very important. Begin your search for properties. So don't just always sit back going getting educated. You got to start. You got to take some action. Go ahead and do that. You'll be surprised where it might lead you. Understand analysis, understands due diligence. And folks, this doesn't have to be rocket science. You can get a blank piece of paper or a blank computer screen and start writing down all the numbers that you need. There's plenty of resources on the web in order to do this. But just remember, for rental real estate, basically you need to know what's coming in and what is going out, and maybe add a little bit for some surprises. But the math is simple, and you can certainly do this. Close the deal. Again, why I say that? Don't be afraid to jump. As long as you surround yourself with good people, you've done your work, the deals will take care of themselves. You'll be surprised how much easier it gets as you go along. And then, of course, find a property management team or set up systems for yourself to manage these properties. If you follow these 10 steps and you really work at it and you surround yourself with good people, you build a good team, maybe you find a mentor or another investor in your area that's been doing this for a while that you can take to lunch or breakfast, have a cup of coffee, talk to them a little about this, you can get started. By this time next year, you literally could have some properties under contract or closed, have renters in there paying you every single month. And in that way, you're building wealth, you're building cash flow, you're building a future for yourself and also your family. So I highly encourage you to take these 10 steps, really focus in on them, spend some time on them. If there's anything that we can do to help you, just reach out, be happy to do it. I hope this helps you, and I hope this gives you an idea and understanding that, again, this does not have to be overcomplicated. Many people have done this for many years and have had great success, and you can do it too. I wish you the best of luck.